Hey, here we go. Okay, factoring quiz preview. We need to get ready for this mini quiz tomorrow. Basically, what you see here is going to be similar in some ways to what you will see tomorrow in the quiz. I'm going to try and actually ease this down a little bit more, just because we're kind of in that infant stage and we're trying to work our way through it and feel a little better. So, first things first, when we're doing this preview, we always look first, every single time. Is there something every single term has there that's in common? Not 2 out of 3, not 2 out of 3, but all 3. No, in this case. You're like, okay, nothing in common. There's no number in front of my squared term. We're going diamond mode. In other words, we're going, let me grab colors. Multiply and add. And we've been talking over these past, now working on 3 days, about my easiest thing to do here is to figure out my signs next, so I don't have to worry about those later. Well, this time it's easy. Everything's plus. So I really don't have to think about that. They're going to be plus. So I need 2 numbers that multiply to 27, but add up to 12. And there's like a ton of ways you can do this. Some of you have already done the mental math, have written it down, and are on to the next question. Some of you are like, no, that's not quite me. But if I grab my calculator and we start dividing by little numbers and work our way up, the number we divide by and the number over here, what we're checking. Can adding 3 and 9 get me to 12? Yeah. So you're like, wait, that one's like done already? Yeah. If you're not a calculator person, just as an FYI, on the back of your flow chart, which again you can use tomorrow, if you went through here and looked for a 27, okay, let's say we find 27, and you follow it back to that row and column, you also can look and then say, hey, do these 2 numbers my fingers are pointing at get 12? Yeah, and use them that way. So you've got lots of options, is what I'm trying to say. And so these first 3 questions that we're looking on here are all going to be that same method of doing things, because there's nothing that all 3 terms have in common. They don't all have k, they don't, both divide by, or those don't even divide by something. So I keep this process going, but this time I got to think a little more. Except, Hardy, it's k. K, Hardy. Let the whole world see I don't know my alphabet. That's why I'm a math teacher, right? Right. If my multiply number is negative, this is the easiest of the ones where I have options, because one has to be positive and one has to be negative. That's the only way I can get 2 numbers that multiply to a negative. Whether you do plus, minus, minus, plus, doesn't really matter. But now, I need 2 numbers that multiply to 18 that are 3 apart. You're like, now, Hardy, why are you saying 3 apart and not adding? Because it's plus and minus. It's almost like we're subtracting. So if I start dividing, can 2 and 9 get me to 3? Not really. No, I don't think 9 minus 2 or 9 plus 2 is getting me to 3. 3 and 6. Now, 3 plus 6 doesn't help me. 3 minus 6, or 6 minus 3, would. So you're like, okay, where does the 6 go? Where does the 3 go? That sign right there tells me the sign of the bigger number. So 6 is my bigger number. It gets the plus. If that was a minus, 6 would have to go with the minus. And we've got that. And again, this, the back of your chart, they all work. And so I keep playing that game over and over. Like riding a bike, we're going to fall down a few times. It's okay. My multiply number is positive. Now, I can't assume it means everything's positive then, because that's not positive. So when my multiply number is positive, it's got to be one of these two. They have to be the same sign. And the sign in the middle, again, tells me a lot. It tells me they're both going to be negative. So negative minus there. So since they're the same sign, like they were up in number 1, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to 63, but are going to add up to 16. So I'm like, all right, 2, that's a decimal. 3 and 21, nope. 21 minus 3 would be 18, but no, that's still not, nope. Decimal, Hardy, come on, Hardy. Yeah, we finally get back to a whole number again with 7 and 9. That adds up to 16. And since they're both the same sign, I don't have to worry about which one goes where. It wouldn't matter. And I'm set with that. So again, those straightforward as we can be. Then we got to start thinking a little. Let me get my sheet back out. Do all three of those have anything in common that may divide in? Hardy hint number 1 today. When in doubt, try that first number into everything when we know 6 goes into 6. And it also goes into 24, and it also goes into 360. So, we're pulling the 6 out. We're dividing it out. 6's kind of cancel each other there, leave me with them squared. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Don't forget your m. And 360 divided by 6, 60. Now, I'm not quite done. I still need to look in here and see, hey, can I do what I did with these first 3? So let's try. Same thing we've been doing. That first number, negative multiply number, means I got one of each side.
Well, no.
Nope, not this time.
No.
Not this time. If they were, yes. If they were, yes.
Yeah.
And so now I start playing again, and I'm like, okay, 60. Oh, dear, that was crazy. 60. Again, am I adding or subtracting those to get to 4? No. To get to 4? No. You're like, how are you doing that so quick? I'm just looking at the divide number in this and seeing if I could add or subtract to get to 4. 15 and 4, add, subtract, no, that's not getting me there. 5 and 12, now I'm getting closer, because 12 minus 5 would be 7, so I'm in the ballpark. 6, 6 and 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. Remember, there's the sign of my bigger number. 10 and 6. Don't lose that 6 out here, though. That's important. We need that. It's going to be part of my answer. So sometimes getting that common factor out just gives me another easy one to play with, like this. Okay. 5, check every time. Oh, let's see here. 108 divided by 6. That one worked. 480 divided by 6. That one worked. So you're like, okay. Now, does that mean that every single time it'll be the number in front? Not every time. A lot of the time. 108 divided by 6. 480 divided by 6. You're like, yeah, party, same thing again. Positive multiply number. Signs have to be the same. That sign. So, okay, that sign tells me a lot. Now, 80 and 18. And again, if you want to find 80s on the back of your chart until you find a pair that works, it's fine. I know technology-wise, y'all are speedy. You're speedier than I am at a lot of this stuff. And so you start to look, and you're like, okay, 40 and 2, no. 20 and 4, no. 5 and 16 get me to 18, no. And again, even if you're playing with the add or subtract game, oh, that didn't work. 8 and 10. Same sign, so we're adding. 8 and 10 gets me to 18. So always get that first term out. If you can. If you can. Because will there be a common term every time? No. Well, what if I can't take something out? Time for slide and divide. So reminder, slide and divide is going to be very similar to what we've been doing, except for this first step, we take that front number, we multiply it to the end. Hey, now it looks like the first ones we've been doing. And at this point, we should be starting to get on a little bit of a roll. Hey, my multiply number is positive. It means the sign's got to be the same. Ooh, that sign. Okay. I play with my calculator. We've seen a lot of that. We keep dividing numbers into 70 until we find 2. That, as we were just told, add up to that 19 in the middle. But so far, so good. We're not done yet. There's the slide. We've still got to do the divide. So if you do the divide and you get a decimal, we don't do decimals. Math, enter, enter. It's still 5/7. So if it's a fraction, even after you reduce it, you just take the denominator and you slide it back in front. But if it goes in nice, 14 divided by 7 is 2, I don't have to do anything cute with that one. That one's done. And so you're like, and we love that so much, we're going to do it again. Okay? Nothing divides into all of those. And again, it has to be all of them in order to be able to take the common factor out like we did in number 4 or number 5. And sometimes the numbers are going to get a little large, and that's okay. We have a calculator. Multiplied number is negative, one of each sign. Write these things out as you're doing your practice, because then when you do it for real on the quiz, it's just going to be like nothing to you. You're going to be like, I got this. Ooh, that's glary. Let's see if we can fix that a little. Maybe. There we go. 112 divided by 2. Dang, jackpot. First try. 2 and 56. 56 minus 2 is 54. There's the sign of my bigger number. But again, slide and divide. If I punch it in my calculator, I hit math, enter, enter. I still get 2 7s back. Slide that denominator back in front of your variable. But if it goes in nice, 56 divided by 7 is 8. We're good to go. Okay, so we've seen slide and divide. We've seen a common factor. We've seen just plain old diamond. Yeah. So here and here. Okay, so I'm looking for, see if I can stay out of the glare. Let's go this way. So the question is, where do we go from 654 to 56 thing working?
Oh, wait, no, I got it.
Yeah, just looking for the two numbers that multiply, and then 56 and 2 is where we're heading with that. So I go to the next one. I'm like, ooh, it's a short one. It's a short one. Maybe it's that squares thing. Okay, hang on. Anything in common here? Okay, I can take an n out of each one. Again, if it's a variable, we take the smallest. And so what we're basically doing is we're subtracting an n from each of the terms. So if I take an n away from 3n squared, I end up with 3n. If I take an n away from negative 2n, I just have negative 2. And the cool thing here is, ooh, there's no squared left. The common term is all I have to take away. So that can be it sometimes. You're just done if there's no squared left at that point. We like those. Those are cool. And then our last part is our newest stuff. It's those darn two-termers again that have nothing in common. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it's that perfect squares thing. So what do I square to get 9? 3. Don't forget your n. What do I square to get 1? 1. Just flip my paper over here. And again, when you're making your difference of squares, and this is the only one of these we've done, first term goes first, second term goes second. One gets a plus, one gets a minus. That's the end. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Okay, you're going to have all the pieces right here. You just need the ability to find them. Notice again with my second terms, I'm not making this -1 or -3. The form takes care of the signs. We don't need to. One plus, one minus. Ching. So that is going to wrap the video portion of things. So those of you on video, we'll see you another time.